But here, let me bring in, because we got our guest here. Let me bring in a woman who doesn't need an introduction, but I'm gonna give one anyway. I'm gonna give it anyway. That's just what I do here. Stephanie, how are you doing?
I am doing well. I looked up and I said, "Oh, it's almost 6 o'clock." I had finally cracked the code on a script that had been giving me the flux since yesterday, and of course, it was time to. It's okay. I put the notes down. I'm gonna go right back to it when we get done. But I said, "Damn!" Of course, 6 o'clock rolled around, and here we are.
I feel like that's how. It's just fate. That's just how it works. Like
Yeah.
the moment that you kind of like,
hmm
you're like, man, I got it figured out.
hmm
I got it figured out. I know the score now, and it's like,
And here come my son asking me why it's no more Egos, and he didn't ate them all every time. Every
it's like,
time.
wait, we ain't got no more echoes.
No, you ate them.
See, you know what? That's I know that vibe.
Yeah.
I know that vibe. My kid does it to me all the time.
You know?
We're out of SpaghettiOs. What's in this
Yes,
economy? What's going on? Like,
because you've been eating them.
are we broke now? Like,
Well,
I
almost because of you.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, kind of slick on the slick, but no. For
Oh,
those,
man.
I just want to say for those not familiar, and I hope if you're not, I hope you get familiar. Stephanie Williams is joining us today, and I would say probably, I think I'm gonna go on a limb and say probably most people will probably know a lot of your work from what you've done at DC
Mm-hmm.
with Nubia, whether it was Nubia in the Amazons, Nubia Queen of the Amazons, and you're also doing was it the We Wonder
Mm-hmm.
series of DC right now, and you've been kind of jumping around. You've been kind of
You
throwing
gonna
down
be
a little bit
I was gonna
everywhere.
say we're gonna be here all night if you list every
Look,
so
I
please
just want to
don't.
say though, right now, what I really want to say is, look, y'all, if y'all ain't, if y'all don't know nothing about this, y'all might want to get familiar. I just want to go ahead and say y'all might want to, y'all might want to learn something about this. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, new
Get on
issue
that
out tomorrow
temporal.
too. Yes.
Look, and you got temporal,
Mm-hmm.
you got roots of madness.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Look, which by the way, just
Oh
go
yeah.
do that. Go and treat yourself. Go and treat yourself. And then there was also there was also something else, but I'll ask you about it a little bit later
Okay,
if I
okay, okay.
can. But the but no, you got Street Sharks right now, and like first of all, I gotta ask, what
Mm-hmm.
was your reaction when you found out you landed it?
I was getting my nails done, but
It was
I
like,
heard I heard the
oh,
ping, and I was like, "Well, I got one hand free, so with the aluminum foil on it, like I was like, let me go ahead and touch this." And I saw the response, like the email. So I know the nail tech was looking at me like, "Girl, are you okay?" No, I'm not. So I went ahead and it took me forever to respond, but I was like responding right away. And it was a very unprofessional response. It was like, F yeah. And then I sent the follow up response, like, okay, professional version. Yes, I'm very interested in working on this series. Let me know when you want the pitch and so on and so forth. But the response I got back from the editors from the unprofessional, I was like, oh, okay, so you're definitely a lot because obviously this is your jam. And I was like, it is. Finally, some off the cuff, wild, whatever thing for me to work on. And I was just so excited because it's Street Sharks. It is sharks with abs. Who doesn't want to write that? Right?
some even have rollerblades or
Okay.
skateboards.
Yes.
Like this is look, Street Sharks was like
hmm
it was peak 90s. Like in
Yes.
an era where peak 90s, like you didn't think it could be any more peak with all the crazy stuff that was coming out at the time. But Street Sharks was one of those that like it always stuck out to me.
hmm
Like in an era of Ninja Turtles and biker mice and SWAT cats, Street Sharks just I don't know. it just hit different. I don't.
They had a little swag to them. I like distinctly remember the toys at Toys R Us, RIP to a real one, and right, and also Baby Toys. And I just remember seeing those and thinking, "Wow, this will look really cool." So like they can fight with Batman as well, because only girl. Only girl out of six boys, so like a lot of my play was I didn't have a choice. So
Mhm.
anyway, I was like, you know what, I can definitely see these sharks flying around with Batman, even though he
Yeah.
can't fly for real, neither can they, Storm and all that. Like, we're gonna have a good time. And they were selling us toys in the cartoon, so like, hey, it did its job.
You know, Street Sharks, because I and when you had put the word out that you were working on the series, like I had not too long recently kind of run back through it a little bit and just kind of revisiting it and trying to figure out like, man, what would Street Sharks look like in in this modern era? And you have the answer to that. And it's a pretty good one, I would say. But
I appreciate that.
well, I mean, well, first off, I knew off rip the second that word was out on the street that
Which
you were going to
really?
be the one.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, okay,
Yeah.
all right. I was like, y'all are serious. Y'all are serious. Okay, all right. Y'all
And
are
you
taking
pick
this seriously.
and you pick you all are serious, but you also pick the most unserious person to write this. Because you cannot be a serious person
No,
writing the Street Sharks. Like, you
no.
simply cannot. Unless you're writing a gritty Nolan type situation. And maybe in another
Mhm.
universe we'll get that. But no. I want y'all to have fun. Let's open up the comic book and for this comic book to feel like an episode. Cause why not? Right?
And it does. It really truly does feel like an episode
Hmm.
of Street Sharks, like down to how all the characters are interacting with each other, and like like and also just like some of the familiarity and things like yeah I one thing I kind of, and I didn't realize this is when I was watching it originally, it wasn't something I really picked up on until later, but in the animated series, you had characters like Dr. Lena Mack, who like was kind of
Hmm.
like up front, like in that kind of early goings, but then just kind of faded off into the sunset. I guess like a little later in the series, and I was like, got my girl Lena up in here. I was like, all right, we good. I was like, we good. It's safe. Everything is good here.
You know the funny thing, this memory did not like hit me until I was, of course, rewatching the show, just trying to like get that energy and vibe. I was like, oh wait, you know what? Lena was one of the first Black women that I had seen on my TV screen, cartoon
Hmm.
wise, that was like in science.
Hmm.
And at the time, I think I wanted to be a marine biologist because you go the kid route from paleontologist to marine biologist, and then you don't do neither one of those things. So
It's like, man, which one of these am I not? Which one of these I'm not gonna
right.
mess with? Like,
But like that was a really great memory to have. And I was like, oh, like, right. Lena was there this entire time. So
mhm.
no, you're exactly right. And of course, Benz was, Benz.
Yeah. Well, it was that was one of those shows that despite the fact that like it was kind of as I was kind of saying, just before you jumped in, like in an era where Ninja Turtles was still like at the height of its popularity.
Hmm.
And like a lot of other studios are trying to figure out like, man, can we crack the Ninja Turtles code? Can we can we get our own Ninja Turtles? And like even though like Street Sharks, like it was pretty obvious what it was
Hmm.
trying to be, like it did it in a way that didn't feel cheap. Like it actually was like cool and interesting. It was like, yeah, it's you know, four people you turned into sharks, and with abs, as you pointed out,
Hmm.
and like it. And I would even say like comically large heads. Grant they're sharks, so it kind of makes sense.
Yes.
But like, but very little legs also kind of makes sense. Because smaller at the back, but still, it was just like, yeah, this is like if someone took wrestling and just put sharks in place of some of the wrestlers. It was like it was cool. It was fun. Like when you were going back through, was there anything like funny about Street Sharks that you noticed you didn't like really like? Obviously, like the Lena Max stuff, but like just anything like weird about it that you just didn't notice before?
Man, like the backgrounds, they don't really exist. They're just
No.
it's just the sharks. So that's all you have to like really focus on, which is fine, but it's legitimately just the sharks. And I can't be mad at that.
Yeah.
Because of that, I also didn't realize how much the show was really like, hey, you are who you are, so people are gonna have to just accept that. And
Hmm.
just because you look monstrous does not mean you have to act that way. Unlike,
Hmm.
this hater, Dr. Paradigm, because how do you create your own conflict? Because he essentially did that.
Yeah.
Like you are the problem. You are the drama.
Yeah.
Um,
No. 100%.
yes. So those are definitely things. Also, this show does not have as many aquatic puns as I
No.
thought it would. So I said, okay, we're going to definitely change that for the series because why not? Like half the reason why I really love SpongeBob is because of just all of the aquatic puns that were either drawn
Hmm.
in, we could see in the animation or said by the characters. So for the case of Street Sharks, I was like, you know what? Start a doc. It's nothing but aquatic puns. I have a running doc that is just I'll be in the grocery store and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, so why did the shark get beat up by the octopus? Because it was well armed. Just stupid things like that. I'm writing it down.
It's kind of hilarious you bring it
Yeah.
up too
Yeah.
because when I was going back through it, I was thinking like, oh man, I was like, what were some of the more like common like I mean yeah Jawsome, that was like
Mhm.
one of the main catchphrases, but I was like, what are some of the other ones that they used to say? When I was going back through, I was like, they actually really didn't like lean into that very heavily as much as you would have like as much as
Yeah.
I feel like I had like a Mandela effect with like
Mhm.
the level of puns that was in it. I was like, oh wow, this actually is played pretty straightforward for the
Yeah.
most part. I mean, yeah, as much as you could play straight a group of fish people,
Yes.
skateboarding and like flying with jetpacks and
Mhm.
whatever. Really.
They stay with a special with a special vehicle because again, gotta sell those toys. Yes.
Right. Well, it's. I actually had to explain this to my kid yesterday because they're only 10 years old, so they don't
Mhm.
understand like the type of childhood that I had as like a elder millennial, like growing up with like Saturday morning cartoons and stuff. And I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
you literally had a cartoon for every toy that existed at the back then. Like in the
Yeah.
like throughout the 80s, kind of even into the 90s. I was like, if it was a show that was on TV, like for kids, you probably had a toy, like an entire
Yes.
toy line, and trying to explain to them, like, yeah, like, and all the toys would have all this crazy stuff going on with them because you had to justify why you had so many of them. And it was just like
Yes.
Street Sharks had it by the truckload. Like Street Sharks gets, I think it only ran 3 seasons,
Yeah,
which
3 seasons.
yeah, and the first, I almost don't even want to count the first season because first season's only like
It's
three
like a little
episodes.
movie, right? It's essentially in fact, I think, the VHS why do I remember this? But the VHS in itself was literally 90 minutes long because it was just those 3 episodes, and they were
Yeah,
like, "Boom, done, season 2."
it reminds me of like back in the day when like some like not every toy line, but like some of the newer ones that were cropping up then. They would sometimes package in that
Mhm.
VHS with the toy. 'Cause like, oh,
Yes,
we're gonna get you hooked. We're gonna give you the first hit
and
for
it worked.
free. And that's usually how you got a lot of, because if you go back and like really if you go back and watch it, it almost is really just it is just a movie. Like you could break it up into 3 episodes, but it is literally just a movie.
Yes.
But so let me ask you this, because obviously you got skin in the game on this. Um, who has been the most fun of the Street Sharks for you to kind of like to get to write? I mean, obviously you had to write
Yeah.
all of them, duh. But like, have there been any that were like, oh my god, this character's so much fun to write? I didn't realize how much fun they would be.
So funny enough, Jab. because Jab was a character that I could like take or leave younger, like when watching it, because I'm like, you're just the middle brother that often gets forgotten about, and you got an attitude
Yeah.
about it. I'm dealing with that in the house all the time, so I'm good on you. Ripster, because I was not necessarily the oldest, but the only girl, therefore the oldest. And then Big Slam Moo, cute younger brother, whatever, it's fine. And then Streaks, of course, favorite because he has rollerblades. Like you could not be a child of the 90s and not love a good rollerblade. Like, come on. So Jab while writing has been really the most fun because even though he is kind of known as like this hothead and
Mhm.
he's just ready to fight. Usually, people like that are ones that are the most vulnerable and they're trying to protect that vulnerability with all they got. So, just kind of like tapping into that just a smidge, just a little bit has been very fun because he deserves.
Well, you know what? I'm happy to hear you say that because as a as president of the Jab fan club,
Yes.
uh, man, justice for my homie Jab. But no, no, I always really it was not just because of like hammerheads were always like one of my
Hmm.
favorite sharks. So that's why I think that's kind of why I gravitated
No, that makes
towards.
sense.
but yeah, no, man, Jab just trying to do Jab stuff,
You
man. He's just
know,
trying to do his thing, man. Just let a brother live, But
yeah.
uh, but no, actually, I think that also might help too. Like, even though technically all of the street sharks are white men, but
Mhm.
like since Jab was the only brown one, it was because that was also kind of another thing that like you from that time frame, it was like you didn't really get many black characters on shows, so like
Mhm.
he's like, man, look, I don't know, man, he brown, I don't know, man,
That makes
come
sense.
on over here, man, you with us, man, come on.
That makes sense. Which
Even
reminds me of Moby Lick,
yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
which trust me, I did not forget about Moby at all. I have something very special in store for him because he's a brother that got turned into a killer whale and, Moby
See,
Lick. Cause sure.
see, that was actually something I was going to ask you about because, that was like I always find it funny. I never really see people talk about Moby Lick, and it's which man, an unfortunate name by today's standards.
Hmm.
I don't know what I mean. I know what they were. I know what they were. I think I know what they were trying to go for, but it just doesn't it doesn't translate as neatly today.
No.
Yeah, but it was the '90s,
Yeah.
and I think, man, you're literally talking about like the height of like Venom mania. So like
Hmm.
an orca who constantly has his tongue hanging out. It's kind of like I see what y'all were going for.
Yeah.
I see what you're going for. So it actually makes me really happy to hear that we actually might
No.
see Moby Lick here at some point.
Yes. He is not forgotten about at all.
See that's why I knew. That's why I knew you were gonna be the perfect person for the job. That's
Mhm.
how I knew. I was like, she ain't gonna forget about Moby.
No.
Nah,
No.
he's gonna be in there. So like, have there been any characters that like you would say were more challenging to write for?
For this series, no.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, honestly, it's just all been fun. And I rarely really get to say that about a series that I'm writing. Like, not that I don't enjoy them or anything like that, but I mean, like, this has been next to Warriors and We Wonder. Like, this has been like
Mm-hmm.
my happy place. Like when I am like, gotta start the next big thing that requires a huge emotional lift. I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and write. Let me get Street Sharks out of my system real quick. Let me get this script out the way. Same thing with Warriors and We Wonder.
It's like
and
get
go
this
from there.
dopamine up,
Yeah,
up in me right
yeah.
quick.
Because it is like it's fun. Like my
Hmm.
computer tab, like my internet history looks sane. Well, no, it looks insane when I'm working on Street Sharks, but also fun and lighthearted compared to some of the other stuff. So, no, like I've even enjoyed writing to Cevias because we love, goofy henchmen because why not? Again, Dr. Paradigm is such a hater who created his own problem.
Yes.
He is the drama. So just kind of lean it into a villain who really is a mustache twirling villain. Like
Hmm.
there is nothing deeper to him other than being a hater, and that is okay. That's perfectly all right.
I like that because, don't get me wrong, I
Yeah.
like a nuanced villain too, but I do think there's something to be said about highlighting villains who are just cartoon characters, like
Hmm.
literally, like figuratively and literally, but like,
Hmm.
yeah, there's something special, about someone who is that hateful, that like they're so spiteful that like their problems are quite literally of their like the cage that they put themselves in is of their own making.
Yes.
Like it's like he has like, and that's what I actually thought was really funny about it, because looking back, I was like, man, you know what? This show wouldn't exist if dude just would have left well enough alone. Like, he was being like an OD hate. Like, he was just like a hateful guy. Like,
Generational hater. Because how are you
yeah,
hating on the sons of the father? What?
you're right. It's like, he's like, oh, no, I got you, daddy, but guess what? I got kids too. I got them. I'm gonna get y'all too. I
Yes.
don't even know y'all like that.
No,
I don't even know
just met
y'all like
y'all
that.
today, and you know what? The other thing too is like poor Lena, because I'm like, is her PhD program getting ready to get messed up? Like,
Right.
Dr. Paradigm is her PI. I
It's like you
like,
about to lose your credits. Your accreditation is in
yes,
jeopardy.
like
Wait a minute,
let's
that's
get
the
it together.
story.
Yes,
That's where the story is.
that's the alternate history. So in the world where I got to write the gritty version of Street Sharks, that's the direction I would take.
Oh, see, no, see what happens here is that see now, because y'all watching this are gonna go. You're gonna go to your LCS and you're gonna ask for Street Sharks. See, what's gonna happen is you're gonna buy the book. Book's gonna sell well. And then, like, yeah, people will be like, "Oh man, when are they gonna make the Street Sharks movie? When are they gonna make Street Sharks movie?" And then the Street Sharks movie gets made. We find it's gonna be a gritty adaptation of the animated series, and then that's how we get. See, that's how.
And that's how that ends up happening. And then there'll be a whole thing online about how the adaptation is nothing like what I've been writing. Like, just, it's okay. They'll just call me back to do the grittier version. And it's fine
Right.
because I get to continue writing Street Shark. So I'm game for any way this goes down.
It's like, look, as long as I'm in,
As
I'm just
long as I'm
saying.
in, it's fine. It's fine.
Well, I mean, I dug it because I wasn't really sure like how like what angle you were gonna come at it from,
Hmm.
because let's just go ahead and say it. There's a lot of like licensed property comics right now,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
like it's like it was like a boom that just kind of seemed to like, I mean, it technically had been there, but like it just seemed like it is back with like a vengeance. And
Hmm.
I guess the good thing is that I can say 99.9999% of them are good.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean that's a good thing. That's something I probably couldn't say back in the day. What I love is that, like, yeah, some take we're gonna modernize it and make it for like a newer audience, or we're gonna keep it, kind of faithful to what it was before, or we're gonna kind of meet somewhere in the middle. Maybe give it a little bit of teensy weensy bit of edge, but still not stray too far afield. I was really happy that in the two issues thus far that I had read. Yeah, I mean, I felt like I was just sitting on the couch watching. Like, if I didn't know any better, if I wasn't like actually holding something in front of me and reading, I mean, I would have just been like, oh yeah, I'm just watching the cartoon.
Yeah. Yes.
which I,
Yes.
yeah, which I think that's
Listen, that is
That's
a
pretty good.
compliment. Yeah, I mean, this is this was what was asked of me and my creative collaborators, and I just love that we were able to, bring that exact energy. Like, it's the highest
Mm,
compliment when we hear that, hey, this reads like an episode of the show, and I'm like, perfect, because that's exactly what we were supposed to do. So,
hmm.
that makes me very happy.
Well, the one thing that is also really cool too, and I guess once again very similar to the show itself.
Mhm.
Like everybody kind of has something to do. Everybody gets to do something.
Yeah.
Like there's no point where I feel like any one of the four are like left out in the cold or anything. Where like because that is kind of a risky run. We have like
Mhm.
a big cast of characters. Like someone's always going to kind of feel like they're not getting as much to do as everybody else. But like just like I said, in the two issues I've read thus far, in my opinion, I feel like like if Jab is doing something over here, well, Big Slamoo's got something to do over here, or like sometimes they're like might be two of them over here doing something, two of them over here doing something. And I will also say too, very a very like cool usage of of like splash pages.
Mhm.
Which I'm a sucker for a good splash page. I'm just gonna put that out there. I love me a good splash page.
Yeah.
And like when I look at some of these, it's like, oh man, dude, they're like, I was like, dude, they're getting to do this, they're getting to do that, they're getting to do this. They're like, the characters doing that, like they're doing like all the wrestling moves and like just really like cool like attacks and everything that you would like expect to see them do in the show. Like it's all there, and yeah, like I said, I'm really excited for to see what more you can do with it because it kind of feels like IDW's just kind of been like. Go do what you got to do. Go do what you got to do.
I listen, and that is like the biggest compliment you can get as a writer
Mhm.
when you're working on something that is licensed work that you do your job so well that they say, you know what, we trust you. Here are the keys to the range.
Right? We trust you to do what you do.
Hmm.
And like I said, you can't ask for like honestly, you can't really ask for anything better than that.
Yeah.
And I mean, and to be fair, I think that for what you have done, and again, you've already proven, just in God for the tons of stuff you've already done already. You've got the chops. You've already proven that. So to see you like getting to just like kind of flex, and just
Yeah.
have fun is such a cool thing because when you were working on Nubia,
Hmm.
Blerd fam, Vita, the homie
Hmm.
out here, um, you know, I was like, okay. I was like, all right. I know what time it is now. I know what time it is. I've been put on game. I've been put on game, and of course, also can't forget like Living Heroes. I was put
Hmm.
on game. So I like it. I always get excited to see like how you're gonna kind of like play with whatever like sandbox you're gonna be messing around in. And it's why I was really excited, when you started like digging more into like your creator owned bag, and then also seeing you get to do this too is like I was like, she didn't
You
come
know
up,
what? Not bad for a meme queen. Who knew?
right?
And not bad for a Twitter famous person who is only writing because of tweets, and Twitter doesn't even exist like it does
No,
anymore.
oh,
So, you
that's
know,
wild.
very wild, right? And still getting work. Imagine that.
Well, and you know what? I kind of want to take what you just said and really just kind of hit it home
Hmm.
that and people have argued with me about this, and I don't know, maybe you'll agree or disagree. But I often like to remind people that some of it people's one of everyone's famous lines from X-Men 97 would not exist. I don't think would exist without you. And that's the Milky Way ghetto. The Milky Way ghetto line. Because I was like, oh. I was like, all right, I see you. I see y'all out here. Y'all be paying attention to Stephanie. All right, I see y'all. Y'all ain't slick.
I won't say anything, but I did laugh when the line was said, and I said, you know what, my type of carry on. But you know what? To even have folks see and even believe that you could have that type of impact on broader media. I think if anything, that just speaks to, I mean, that just reaffirms in me like, hey, you're doing exactly what you should be doing, the way you're doing it, which is by you just simply being yourself, and sharing your viewpoints, your jokes, and whatnot on these things that you really love. Like, I know I always ragged on Charles, but that is a character that I do have a deep appreciation for because of how complex and just all the things that he is. Same thing with Miss Jean Grey and her low blood sugar, all of that. I love Miss Jean. And of course, like that is unnecessary shade because it's only in the cartoon where she's fainting like that. But the point is that the women was working real hard. They were tired.
Well, it speaks to a problem I kind of like. I didn't have it obviously when I was watching as a kid, but like as I got older and was going back and revisiting, the original X-Men, animated series, I was like, wow, when you really think about it, they constantly had to they probably constantly had to come up with ways to write Jean and Storm out of episodes because most of the stuff they dealt with could be easily just hand waved away.
Yes.
If you actually leaned into what Jean and Storm were, I mean, really any of the characters, but especially Jean and Storm. Like, it's like, oh wait, Storm got surrounded by walls. She out. Okay, all right, so we got her off table, so now they can't just knock the problem away with wind and lightning. Oh wait, Jean's narcoleptic all of a sudden. Like she's passed out. We don't know what's going on. And yeah, man, y'all aren't gonna be able to read so and so's mind. That's crazy. So I mean, I respect the game. I respect the game, but I think that's sometimes what we need to do as people on social media. We need to kind of poke fun at some of these things so that maybe someone actually notices them.
I mean, I very much believe that the quality jokes and the ones that are layered and stand the test of time when you're talking about something that you greatly love. Like, I think of the Wayans brothers and I think of Low Down Dirty Shame. I think of Robert Townsend and Hollywood Shuffle and all these satirical, Black films that I appreciate because you could tell that they were very in tune and know the lay of the land so much. Like, you can't break the rules if you don't know the rules. And I think that's the beautiful thing about comedy. And for good comedians or great writers that are funny, they understand that. And yeah, like, sure, it is so fun to make fun of X-Men 92. But also at the same time, in order to really do so and do so in a meaningful way that actually gets people thinking and hopefully checking out the comics, is to do so in a way that, points out the problem, but also is like, maybe we should think a little bit more about this because Jean's really not that weak. Storm's really not that weak. Neither is Rogue or Jubilee. They're just tired because Xavier is always sending them on field trips to hell.
Not to mention, man, you got to rebuild the X Mansion every 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, come on now, come on. I mean, really, seriously,
it's a Ponzi scheme. I think
hire some contractors.
Well, Charles is hiring contractors. They're inside workers so that he can pocket that money.
Right.
The Morlocks, he's calling them up to fix things. And and he's not paying them. He's just telling them, "Hey, we will give you the leftovers." That's all. Because Charles wasn't letting the Morlocks in the house, which is
Oh
crazy.
yeah, jump, but you got to come through the back door. You can't.
The back door, which is,
we-
problematic in itself, but
right.
because I believe there was an episode where Storm came back and tried to bring the Morlocks with her, and
Yeah.
Charles said no. He closed the door mentally and physically.
This is what I always tell folks like, "Hey, Charles ain't shit. I don't
He's
care what
not.
nobody say. Like, I mean, yeah,
Not.
good on him for like putting the squad together, but like for real." I was like, you got to get up out. I was like you can bring the squad, but then you got to go. Like you could drop them off. You could drop the X-Men off at the party, but you can't stay. You can't stay at the party. You gotta be out there.
No.
Uh,
Just like Magneto in the Brotherhood. I mean, Magneto, yes, he is right, but Magneto's also going to make you walk 50 miles to get back home because he's not picking you up. It is your fault
oh
that you're
yeah.
out there.
Well, he's
Find
like,
find your way home. Magneto is a parent that they're taking you one way, but not
yeah.
both. Find a
You
ride there, or I'll come get you, but it won't be both. That is
don't
Magneto.
call me.
Exactly. Figure it out.
Don't. You better get one of your little. You better get one of your little naughty head friends come bring you. Have them bring you home.
Hmm.
I ain't bringing that. It's wild because man, that is dude. That is crazy accurate. Uh, well, let me ask you this. Because this is something that I was wondering about and had been wondering about for a while, actually, in regards to some of the stuff that you had been doing. And you had probably, it's been probably a couple of months maybe, but you had pointed out that there was a book that you were going to be working on and had started work on, but ultimately didn't come to fruition over at Marvel for one reason or another. And it was Ironheart, which I'm not gonna lie, I got mad.
Yeah.
I got, which I'm sure you probably were upset too, but if you weren't, I was mad for you because I was like, damn, this is perfect.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
this right here is perfect.
yeah. The energy that I was bringing to that book, this wasn't the full energy, but I was just really inspired by Raquel. We know her as oh my God, Rocket.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some of those earlier issues from the Icon series that I felt even though I guess controversial, but I don't think that it's a bad thing that Rocket exists the way that she does to be a young teen mom. I wasn't gonna
Mm-hmm.
make Riri pregnant or anything like that. It was
Mm-hmm.
it specifically was an issue where she ends up going to Planned Parenthood and the doctor there gives her the lays it out for her and gives her these options and says like, you can choose this path or this one. I'm not gonna
Mm-hmm.
tell you what to do, but like she speaks from her own experience. And my takeaway from that was, well, damn, we have not seen any characters really, but especially specifically like a young black girl at the OBGYN. Why are we not seeing that in comics since then? Like what? Like that's very much a part of the experience. And if Riri is a character that we are supposed to be showing her, coming of age and going through the motions and all of these things, there was a storyline where I was going to be weaving that into it, and we were going to get her going to the OBGYN. I mean, not the OBGYN, but the
Mm-hmm.
going to the gynecologist for a checkup. There wasn't the main storyline or anything like that, but some
Right.
things that were happening in the C plot led to that. And it was really more
Mm.
so for us to focus on PCOS and how that affects some women. And maybe Riri was somebody who was affected by that because the Mandarin rings were amplifying it. So that was going on. I was gonna bring back Sasha, who Matt Fraction created, because I was like, well, if she got got the Mandarin rings, and it makes sense that the daughter will want these rings. And I wanted to give Sasha a chance to be her own villain and to have her own
Right.
motivations and stuff that were outside of her parents or her boyfriend. Like I wanted Sasha to really be sort of kind of like Riri, but like so both of them in this instance to kind of be that Spider-Man 2 where you've got Doc Ock and Peter Parker being two sides of the same coin. That was the
Hmm.
vibe that I was going for. But all that to say, it'll never see the light of day. So sorry if you listen to this, and I'm pretty sure if this ends up being a clip on some social media, there you have it.
Yeah.
But
Well,
business is business. So I mean,
yeah.
it is what it is. I'm not gonna say it didn't suck, but I
Right.
remember Rodney Barnes said to me, I was at Heroes Con, maybe this was like a month after the cancellation, and I was still in my feelings about it. And he was just like, you know what? If this is your first time getting a cancellation, that just means you're on your way because you're working enough where that's the case. And I said, you know what, Rodney? You're right. Why would I not listen to you?
Leave it to goat Rodney Barnes to be able to like take that situation and really kind of pull the silver lining to the
Yeah.
forefront. Like that's actually when you put it like that, yeah, like I mean, I'm still mad
Yeah.
cuz like, but in terms of like what that did for you, I'm like, okay, you know what? It all kind of worked itself, out in the end, at least that's what I hope.
Oh,
Um,
for sure. Because if anything, it further smashed the rose-colored glasses that were already pulverized anyway. So just to make sure, like, hey, girl, just in case you got too comfortable, don't. Because at the very end
man.
of the day, when you're working for these companies, like it is a business. And it
Mm,
is sometimes or most times good to remember that so that you don't set yourself up for failure. Some things you can't avoid, but you don't walk away thinking it's you. It's not you. It is a
mm,
business decision. And a lot of times that ain't got nothing to do with you, child. In fact, treat it
yeah.
like it's not your business and move on to the next thing.
You know what? That's fair. Like it was one of those things that it was so strange to learn that this was happening because like one of the things I had long said was that like, man, it makes no sense that Riri Williams does not have a solo series going right now with all
Yeah.
the hype that was surrounding her, like going into like Wakanda Forever coming out, and
Yes.
more people starting to become more aware of who she was, like
Mhm.
not listening to those silly online trolls who never actually read a stitch of a comic with Ironheart in it, but actually listening to people who have actually read books with her in it and explain like why she's an endearing character. Like it was like, dude, I was like, it makes no sense. And then to learn that there was one,
There
and
always is.
yeah,
If you're ever wondering, the answer is probably yes. Just know.
that is, oh man, it's reassuring and heartbreaking at the same
Mhm.
time.
And
It's
heartbreaking at the same time. But again, like I hate to say this again, but unfortunately, it is what it is. Don't make it right, but you know.
well, but the good news is, and I think this kind of it doesn't necessarily make up for it, but I mean it does definitely show that there's just more good stuff on the horizons that like I constantly see. You talking about landing stuff and and getting you pulled to the side and asked about projects and things like that. So, if anything, who maybe that kind of freed you up to kind of to kind of stumble into these other projects that have been to in my opinion doing pretty well
Listen,
just
she operates off of spite, so I'm gonna be upset and mad for like a day or two, and then I'd like
Hmm.
to take that and alchemize it into something else. Toni Morrison beautifully said that more eloquently than I did, but it did because if anything, my whole thought process is well. I'm gonna make you regret this, but I'm gonna make you regret it be me doing something else. Because again, like it doesn't stop my momentum, and it keeps me from spiraling into the imposter syndrome or feeling as though maybe I'm not that good. That's all a lie. I have a bookshelf that shows that that's a lie, right?
Right.
But it's very easy to fall into that when the rejections happen. I know it seems
Yeah.
like I am doing all the things, but I promise you, I still have rejections that come into my inbox all the time. And and if anything, they still hurt, but you get better about how you deal with them and what energy you put into when you get that no.
Well, I can tell you something you didn't get a no on,
Uh-huh.
and I was not expecting this. And I was like, oh, I see you getting that Star Trek.
Hmm.
The deviations
Yes.
of Star Trek. I guess I don't want to call. I'm gonna call it
No.
imprint, but like a line of
Mhm.
stories. You like I was like, oh, I was like, she out here.
The funny thing about that one, I had just turned in, I think, the short story that I wrote for Star Trek 500, and
Okay.
turned that in. It was done, and then got an email that was like, "Hey, another Star Trek thing for you. Would you be interested in this deviation?" And explain to me what it was, and I was like, "Well, yes," because why? Yes, of course. Who doesn't like this? Is the ultimate what if for me, right? Why would I not want to do that? So I sent 3 pitches, but I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person that does this. But the pitch that I love the most is always the one that I put first, and then I'll do 2 other pitches. And if I'm really trying to like game the system, so to speak, the other 2 pitches, they're fine, but they don't have as much
Yeah.
pizzazz as that first one. So I knew
Mm.
immediately what story, what episode I wanted to tell, because I promise you, I've been saying this forever. I was like, if I ever write a story with Lieutenant Uhura, I know exactly what I'm going to do. And I mean, hold on, I even got this
Oh.
before. Listen, I manifest all the time, even when I don't know I'm
Let's go.
manifesting. And I just immediately knew. So I sent those pitches back, and Heather was like, immediately the first one. Hopefully, Paramount is on board with it too. But like, yes. And next thing I knew, it was happening. And then a year later, almost a year and a half later, the announcement is finally going out. So imagine holding on to that for that long. That it was horrendous.
Well, you know what it is. I remember when the Street Sharks announcement came out, and I remember you saying like, "That ain't it.
No,
Like
and
that ain't all of it."
the
I was
funny
like,
and the
I was like,
funny
hold
thing about
on.
that is that even this horror thing is still not it. I think I probably should just stop saying that because then I end up getting gagged because something will come through my inbox and I'm like, oh wait, oh okay, well this is
Uh,
just as amazing, if not more so. So yeah.
I mean, hey, I personally, I love to see it. So
Oh, well, thank you.
I look, keep manifesting, please.
Yes.
Uh,
They let the
y-
wrong one in. I said, once I got I came through the comic book industry in my black Air Force Ones, my shiesty and all black attire. I said, wow, my foot will remain firmly planted because of just the journey it took to get here. And no, baby, I'm not leaving. You have to drag me out.
yeah,
And if you drag me out, it's gonna take a little longer than you're gonna give up. Because I
right.
promise you, you don't have as much drive as I do, and passion really to just tell stories in this medium that I just love so much.
Well, I mean, the passion, like I can see it because like everything I have read of yours, like it's always a joy. It's always a joy to read. It's always fun. Like even if it's something like serious going on, like it's like oh like like I can feel the energy coming off of whatever it is that you've done, and like I said, when you were working with Vita on the Nubia stuff, like I was like, okay, yeah, I was like, this is
That was a blessing.
yeah,
Just Well, really more so because like we don't really see mentorship in this space, and especially mentorship amongst Black creators and other creators of color. Just because,
mhm,
not even because of don't nobody want to work with anybody. You rarely get the
right,
opportunity to really do so at these bigger companies. So to be able
hmm
to come through and learn the way that I was from Vita, who I still believe is a phenomenal storyteller.
oh
It
yes,
just meant the world to me because Vita really set me up for success with just the whole process of working on Nubia and the Amazons, and really giving me the 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 courage really to trust myself that hey,
mm,
I can do this by myself. Like, yeah, I'm gonna read what you wrote, but like this is your thing. So and I want to see you
right.
shine in doing this. And I will forever be thankful to Vita for that opportunity.
Well, I mean, and I think it says a lot. It says a lot for them that I don't think I've ever encountered anyone who's ever worked with Vita and not like walked away with a good experience. Like just everyone I've ever talked to, like
Yeah.
people love working with Vita,
Yeah.
and while I don't want to make it. I don't make it hot for nobody. I'll just say I've heard about some things where like I've heard some creators say like oh yeah Vita went to bat for me
Hmm.
or advocated for me and so on and so forth. So we in an industry of you kind of bereft of of mentorship. I always feel like be it be a Vita.
Yeah.
Be a Vita, and you kind of help usher in that next wave because we're sorely lacking in in a lot of diverse voices. And it's kind of why I advocate for diverse voices above all else, because it's like you don't get the types of experiences and books that we're getting right now without people like you, Vita, so on and so forth, like stepping up to the plate and being able to actually share an experience that we haven't seen a million times before.
Yeah.
In anything, not just comics, but just period. So like I said, I don't have a hat, but if I did,
Listen, the way that I feel about certain, whenever I am like getting ready to pitch something, or I'm thinking of a through line for a story and I'm working on a plot, and I say to
mm,
myself, man, I think this has been done enough. No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. Because I haven't, like, a Black person has written this yet. So it has not
mm,
been done in all the possible ways that it has. And I always try to remember that
mm,
no matter the story, the character, or whatever, like there is going to be whoever reads it is going to take something away from it that they wouldn't have from someone else,
right.
just simply because we are just all unique as creators, and we all have something special to lend to storytelling. I firmly believe that, and that's why I myself don't have a problem at all with providing
Mm,
mentorship or suggesting somebody for a job, or bullying to get them a job, because
yeah,
there is more than enough space. Like it just simply is. And the
yeah,
smoke and mirrors of scarcity is why is helping project, I mean, create this I don't know, like this atmosphere of no, you got to be a gatekeeper, because if you're a gatekeeper, then you don't have to worry about anybody taking your job. No, you are. That's not how it should work at all. That
there
to
are
me tells me
so
that so many, and I mean, to me, that tells me that you're not confident in your abilities as a storyteller, as a creator, as an artist, which is crazy, especially for someone who's been in the game for so long. Like, not you still dealing with imposter syndrome, baby. You've been in the league for 40 years.
Right.
Longer than
Talk to
Moses and
him.
them was trying to get to the new land. So, like, let's
I
figure
just
it out.
I hate to see it because yeah, there's so many stories out there. There's so many like people act as if like okay, there's no magic whiteboard up at anyone's office that says, "Hey, okay, we've got this story, this story, this story, this story, that story. Oh, we can't add one more because we just don't have room."
We never say that. Businesses love money. Are you kidding me? Like, so to believe that is like, come on, like let's be so serious right now.
And that's why I always tell people, and to kind of speak to your experience, when you were talking about being referred to as like the meme queen. Here's the thing, people pay attention, and I have it on pretty good authority that regardless of whether it doesn't matter if you're talking about Marvel, DC, Image, like IDW, Dark Horse, Boom, whoever, it doesn't matter. People pay attention to social media, and if they see that like you have a voice, if they see that you have like a vision or like a knack for spinning a yarn,
Yeah.
people are going to be a lot more likely to want to hear what you have to say and maybe see if you can bring something. Because I can tell you right now, been reading comics for a long time. Man, we've been getting the same can of tuna for a long time. It's the same experiences over and over and over again, ad nauseum for a long time. And it wasn't really until people started saying, hey, maybe let some of these other people in the door. Maybe let some of these other people tell a story. Maybe they might have some kind of an insight to the thing that they're going to be writing a story about that maybe no one would have written before because I don't know, because they weren't like a 50-year-old white dude. I don't know. I'm just putting that out there. Yeah, people do with that information what they will, but I feel like I like my stories to be reflective of the people who write them, and for them to be able to tell me a story I haven't seen before
Yes.
or read before.
Yes, because
We don't lose.
we don't lose. What we do get, which is one of my favorite. This is so problematic. One of my favorite Punisher story arcs to go back and read, just because, and that's when Punisher goes to Chicago, and he is turned black to go undercover,
Yeah.
like deep undercover with Luke Cage, and it's insane.
What was it? Frank Rook.
Yeah.
I love that. He didn't even try and hide who he was. Like
No.
it's like Frank Rook. What's
And
another word for Rook? Castle.
Yes.
Crazy.
So whatever.
Crazy how that works out. It's wild, man.
But like, I if and of course, like that is not necessarily indicative of all comics, but
Right.
that's a lot of them. So
Yes.
yeah, it is a good amount of stories that are kind of like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Lois Lane turning black
it was
for
like
one
24
issue.
hours, and it was like 24
Yeah.
hours. It would have been, if we're gonna do the thing, like do the thing. It
Right.
would have been interesting if they actually would have showed like what impact this had on Superman, how he felt about all of her coworkers, all this stuff. But I'm getting into things that we should leave alone. But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, if you're gonna do the thing, do the thing. Do it
Do
all
the
the
thing.
way. Don't have stuff.
Well, I actually appreciated Uncanny X-Men did it, and they actually did kind of flirt with it like a little bit. Sebastian Shaw was like,
Oh
"Oh
man,
no,
that was awful. But
yeah,
it was historically accurate, so I will give him that. He
yeah,
said, wow,
yeah. Oh
Anthem
no,
self, they've got one black mutant. I know exactly what I'm doing with her. And it's in Okay, well, it's
He's like, look,
horrific, but
he's like,
also
look, Emma, you ain't got to go back to being white. Look, Sebastian was like, look,
when you don't know how many times I had to reread that issue because I was like, I'm missing a page because this doesn't really I'm missing a page because wait,
nope,
what? And then when it finally clicked, and I was like, oh, okay,
nah,
all right, this is what we're
Beretta did
doing.
that shit.
I said, all right, well, this is what we're doing. Listen. You gotta love comics because they like mini periodicals are just so indicative of the time and also the thoughts of the people of the time. And unfortunately, or fortunately, because during those times was majority white men writing these comics, and it's like y'all tea is all over the place because why were these your thoughts? Let's talk about that.
Look,
But and again, sign of the times.
yeah,
So if anything, when you're reading these older comics and you stumble across an accidental racism, or probably not even accidental sexism or whatever, homophobia, just remember sign of the times. And when you see
yeah.
it currently today, still sign of the times. So if anything, we got a lot of work to do.
Look, yeah, new times, same as the old times.
The more things change, the more they stay the same.
It just keeps coming. It always just it keeps coming back around because we're on a planet that spins. We shouldn't even be surprised.
We are, but I also to circle this back to Street Sharks real quick.
Yeah.
I think that is why, for me personally, like writing Street Sharks, I was like, I hope if anything, like, yes, I would still love to write Storm one day, but I just hope that this has a greater impact than that could. And I say that because I'm a black woman who is writing these sharks with abs, something very unserious, kind of goofy, right? Like we don't really get opportunities like that from the
No.
bigger publishers unless it's something that we're creating ourselves. So if anything, I'm hoping it's just like, okay, well, so before you call, this whoever up because, Black History Month is coming or whatever, maybe consider them to, I don't know, do the Jetsons. I don't know.
See, y'all got mad at me for saying that shit.
No, I mean,
See,
also still call me up for the February thing,
yeah,
but
yeah,
also
no, it was just
throw the extra, the other 11 months. I want the other
yeah.
stuff too.
Like I said something very similar this past February, and folks were like, "Oh, see, man, why you got to make it like you're just projecting?" Like no, I was like, this is what happens. I was like, I was like, I was like, look, man, it's nice when we get to do the black books.
Yeah, it's
Maybe
always
we
automatic.
might
I'm
do.
always I'm gonna do what I want to do. I like the thing is I really would love people to pay attention to for like these Heritage Month books that come out, right?
Yeah.
Pay attention to, do you see these writers or artists again on anything else? If the answer is no, and it's greatly no, we've got a problem, because if this is supposed to be a platform for for these marginalized voices, I'm sorry, putting them or giving them the opportunity to just be in this one thing but not really offering anything else, or not even saying, give somebody something. That's not what I'm saying at all.
Yeah.
But more opportunity and the chance to work on things outside of that, right? If this is truly
Right.
supposed to be a platform in introduction to these creators, like what else are they doing after this? What are you doing as a company to
Right.
facilitate that outside of these months? That's all.
Look, that like right there, that is a like if this was if this was like Don't Be a Menace, I would literally drag Keenan Ivory Wayans out to come up, get in front of y'all and say message, because some of y'all ain't gonna understand that that this is what's happening out here.
Yeah, I mean, because that was
You
my
know.
fear doing like my very first major like pro comic thing was Marvel Voices Legacy. I got to tell a 2-page Monica Rambeau story.
Hmm.
And that was a moment where it was like, oh, I made it, but also, well shit, did I really make it? Because hey, this could
So,
be the only thing. If I don't figure out how to keep this momentum going or like how to utilize these 2 pages and other work that I've done to hopefully, get on some other
mhm.
editor's radar, or how do you wow somebody in 2 pages? That in itself was, I don't even know. I just had to leave that alone. But
I
like
mean,
that was my thought, because I had seen previously where other folks have been in showcase books or these,
mhm.
these kinds of books, and then we don't really hear from them again. And I think that's something that is horribly tragic. There's it's not all one-sided, essentially is what I'm trying to say. And
Right.
that is something that we should continue to examine, especially since there has been a decline in just media, a new media from marginalized voices since what the promises of 2020 and 2021, those have dried up. They've gone away. And the writing was on the wall in 2022. That was another scary moment. It was like, well, crap,
Hmm.
I just did Nubia. And they're not gonna call me again until they need to revive another black woman. That
Yeah.
was another,
They're
and
gonna
that's a
call you
that's
back.
and that's a fear that's unfortunate, because that shouldn't even cross my mind. But again,
No.
when you see this happening in real time to some of your peers, that is something that crosses your mind. Like, okay, I've done this amazing work with this black character, which I should have been able to do, right? But
Right.
this has now become my identity, and I'm only brought in as a triage nurse to help fix your long forgotten black characters.
That
So
is.
you better believe when I got Street Sharks, I said, "Whew, okay." Same thing with My Little Pony,
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah.
the Family Snick, Alien, all of these things. I write so many different things because one, I genuinely just really love storytelling. So it doesn't matter the genre. I
Right.
just want to tell a story, and I'm gonna figure it out. But the other thing is I don't have any ongoing. So,
Hmm.
and if this is something that I'm doing for a living, like I gotta be a little scrappy and again, figure this thing out, because if I'm supposed to be building a body of work that I can look back on and be proud of, but also at the same time, a body of work that kept food on the table. Not only do I have to, do as much as I can, but also be very intentional with those projects in a very,
Hmm.
and they're already limited to begin with. Some days I don't even know.
Oh.
I'm
Oh my
just waking up
god.
and I'm just like, wow, this might be the day. This might be the day where I finally hit
Wow.
submit on my application at Marshall so that I can get my discount on candles.
Oh my
Just being
god.
very real. Because, I mean,
I
it's
mean,
just bad out here.
well, no, I mean
And I love
it
Marshalls, by the way. Like, I probably will still work part time just to get that
just
discount.
to get that
Okay.
thing.
Yes.
I mean, y- all bullshit aside, it is still heartbreaking a thing to think about just because of the fact that, like, yeah, I mean, you never know. And
Yeah.
and this is why I kind of want to impress upon people because I've been paying attention to the chat. I've been seeing people talk about, oh my god, I didn't know there was a comic. I didn't know. Oh my god, I'm so
Yeah.
excited. Well, here's what you can do. You're gonna go to your LCS.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna go talk to the person behind the counter. You're gonna say, hey, I heard there were you. I heard Street Sharks is back.
Mm-hmm.
Can you please put Street Sharks on my pull list? Can you put it in my pull box? Can you like get it on order for me? I missed the first couple issues. Is there any way you can get the back issues in for me?
Mm-hmm.
Say that. I say all this because here's the thing, and I people are probably sick and tired of hearing me say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway because it's always someone's first time. But I always like to use Poison Ivy as an example.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the exact number of issues Poison Ivy was
12.
supposed to run. It's supposed to run 12. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so Poison Ivy supposed to run 12 issues. I think issue 30 something. I think they're on issue 30 something now. And the
Mm.
reason
And
why,
a second annual.
and a second annual. Okay, so look, and if I'm not mistaken, that's like four, I don't know, five trades, I think, right now.
Uh-huh. Which is
So
beautiful.
it's a thing of beauty. I love to see it.
Yeah.
And every time I always hear people saying, "Man, why did so and so only run for 5 issues? Why did so and so only run for 10 issues?" Well, here's why. You have to ask for these things to be put in your pull box. I'm positive I'm not wrong in this.
Mm-hmm.
Poison Ivy did not get to issue, I think it was a 33, 34, 35, whatever's the most recent one that's come out. I think actually, no, actually, shit, I think she's actually almost on 40.
Yeah.
But it didn't get there because people were just walking into the shop willy-nilly and picking up the comic if it was on the shelf. No.
No.
People were having to add it to their pull box, and
Mm-hmm.
no industry that I can think of right now thrives on pre-orders more than comics right now. It's how the bean counters at the respective publishers can figure
Mm-hmm.
out what's selling, what's not selling, and no matter how much you love Street Sharks, if you're not adding this to your pull box, you are basically all but, I don't want to get dark here, but you're basically all but basically guaranteeing that you're not going to get as much Street Sharks as you say you want to get. So that's
Yeah.
why I say go to your LCS. Don't say you want a lot of Street Sharks. We're going to use a little Ron Swanson here. Say you want all the Street Sharks that IDW has. And that will go a long way to ensuring that Stephanie doesn't have to worry about that.
No, just that one thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I would love to continue writing Street Sharks.
right.
It would be lovely to do
Right.
that. So
Please.
please.
And well, under normal circumstances, I am going to do this. I'm going to allow you a chance to plug any other stuff you got coming up.
Yeah.
But I'm also I want to just reiterate, while you're asking for Street Sharks, maybe consider asking for Roots of Madness. Maybe consider asking for Temporal. Maybe consider asking for Warriors and the Wee Wonder. Maybe I'm not trying to tell y'all what to do with your time. And
Wonder
your money, but
Woman
just
29 and 30.
yes.
Ask for those two.
Thank you. Yeah, okay, that's also the other thing. Please go do that. 29 and 30.
Yeah.
Ask for them because
Listen,
I'm trying to look.
if
I'm
you
trying to
miss-
see if we can get Stephanie on. I
if
mean, I
you
like
miss
Tom
them-
King. but
if you missed
can we
them
get some-
here in the Amazons, check this out because I'm Amazoning y'all down. Is from right to left. You can't get off a page without the Amazons. All right,
See, look, that just touched a brother's
and the
heart.
baby.
And the baby.
And the baby. And I'm so sorry, y'all. I couldn't do anything to the baby, even if I was given the green light to. Also, it's a baby. It's
Right?
little Lizzie, little Elizabeth. I'm a mom, so trust me when I say, don't worry. We're gonna have a good time with Miss Elizabeth.
Look, I know the gaming industry would like to have a word, but
Oh
they
yeah.
don't thrive on pre-orders the way comics do. As a person who knows lots of people in the gaming industry, trust me, unless you're talking indie games, yes. Major publisher games, no. All comics thrive on pre-orders, even the indie ones and the big two and
Yeah.
technically big three if you want to get technical. And what if I don't have an LCS? Well, guess what? If I'm not mistaken, I mean, I am sometimes. But I actually do know this for a fact. You can go on Global Comics app, and because IDW has a
Yes.
day and date deal with Global Comics, so if you don't have an LCS, you can actually purchase new issues of Street Sharks on Global Comics. So
Which is so cool. That also,
Yes.
if you didn't know this, this wouldn't be pre-order, but for those of you who use your library, local resources, some of those apps, Hoopla, which I know I just found out about the AI thing, so sorry about that. But if we try to ignore that for a quick second, which I know is very hard, and I'm so sorry to ask that. But like, you can actually read Street Sharks on Hoopla. I checked the other day.
Mhm.
I think issue one is there. Issue two will, of
Okay.
course, follow as well. So that's another
Right.
resource, and they're not the only one. Like, there
Mhm.
are other resources that your local library might have. Yeah, you
Yes.
can also request books through them.
Mhm.
What else? And if you don't have a local comic book store, you can also check what is it, comic book shop locator. I think you literally
Yes.
just type that
Mhm.
in. And some shops, most shops will offer you a delivery service. So,
Mhm.
so many options.
There's so many ways, and I 100% encourage you explore any and all that you can, because there's quite literally so many ways to get to Street Sharks that
Hmm.
honestly you don't even really have to try all that hard. When I walk in my LCS, boom, it's there.
You know,
I don't
I
have to say
reach over
anything. Yeah,
and
my look, boom, like right there. See, look right there. LCS just goes. My guy just goes. Here you go.
yeah.
And for those wondering, I saw someone ask. Someone asked about what is a pull box. That is basically the box or your pull list. It is the mechanism that they use. It's rarely ever an actual box anymore these days. Depends, but basically it's how comic shops organize the pre-orders of their customers. So like if you go in, you say, "Hey, I want Street Sharks." Well, guess what? Every time there's new Street Sharks, you get Street Sharks,
They
and
put a little
all you have to
sticky
do is
note on top of it. It's got your name
yeah.
on it. It's very cute. You should try
It's,
it.
and if you, man, if your LCS is really about business, they'll bag and board your stuff for you before you even get in the shop.
Mm.
But I don't know. Some of y'all might not got it like that. I don't know. I don't want to. Yeah, but that's just me. Anyway, Stephanie, thank you so much.
Thank you. This was wonderful. If anything, I hope
Mhm.
that out of this conversation, a Street Sharks beat 'em up game comes out of it. I don't know. Maybe
Hey, if
it would be
look,
nice.
beat 'em ups are the rage right now. So
I would play it, so I don't even have to write it. In fact, I don't want to write it. I just want to play it. So let's make that happen. But if you are new to me as a comic creator, I would like to implore you. You don't even have to buy any comics from me to check them out. Living Heroes is available to read for free on Global Comics, as well as
yes,
a few other things that I have on there. But I recommend Living Heroes just because it is early Stephanie, but I stay true to form. You just get to see my evolution from that type of storyteller to I'm still doing shenanigans that will never end. But now I'm doing shenanigans in an eloquent way. Sometimes, not all the time. So please check that out. And like just know that when you get a story from me, I am trying to give you your money's worth, your time's worth, because we live in an age where everything is rapid fire. If you're able to secure someone's attention span longer than 2 minutes, well, wow, you might as well go try to walk on water because I'm pretty sure Jesus couldn't even do that now. No.
no.
So I am just always appreciative of people who are willing to support and have been supporters for a very long time. I see y'all. I thank y'all. And again, my foot is firmly planted. They're going to have to drag me up out of here. And even still, I'm going to roll around like a crocodile and or alligator, whichever one rolls around. They probably both do death
They probably
rolls. But
both do.
anyway,
I think they both do.
that's what I would turn into because you're not getting me out of here. Because no. Unless you lure me away with candles that you bought from Marshalls, then maybe.
Marshalls.
Or Home Goods. Because I am a millennial mom. I am in Home Goods walking around like these people don't know I write comics as I pick up stuff that I don't need.
Oh God, you almost made me choke.
I'm sorry.
But no. But no, I got links down below. Please go follow Stephanie on social media.
Please.
She is a damn trip and a half
Thank you.
on social. So please go do that. And I also got some links down below that you can go follow if you want to go check out some stories that I think you'll dig. from Stephanie. But thank you again.
You are very welcome. And I got to come back on the show because
Yes.
I feel like I say this to everybody that I interview with, and I'm just like, I got another thing I want to talk about. So let's hope that that energy continues. But there
Yes.
are more creator owned things on the way. The thing that I was working on is actually my second creator owned with Ignition Press. Can't wait for y'all to, yeah. I love it over there. So they were like, you got more originals? I said, do I? I absolutely do. And it's a fun
She.
one. This one is a sci-fi to its core and romance. So it is a romance sci-fi story
Okay.
that I'm happy to find. I'm bringing the spice. They don't.
Okay.
They say the kids don't yearn anymore. Well, I'm bringing you some yearning in this. So I got that, and then of course I'm going to hit you with a random project, and you're just like, this bitch writes everything. And you're damn right, I do. And
It's
that's
like,
where I
you know
leave you.
what? It's like,
Listen, when
won't
Kristen,
she do it?
the OGs did the wrong thing by empowering me. Talking about Christopher Priest, Dennis Cowan, all of these lovely gentlemen, even Alethea Martinez, Afua
Mm-hmm.
Richardson. When I think of these people that have been in the game before me and the ones that have lasted as long as they have, even my favorite, Daryl Banks. Love that man down. They, Keith Williams,
So
all of
cool.
them, Brian Stelfreeze, all of them have been so I don't know. Like, I just have to say thank you to them because it's something to have a creator that you looked up to, that it has influenced your work and shown you how it can be done and how you can get here. And for them to see you, they created a monster. So I say that in a loving, smiling way. But I'm here to write comics and, hopefully many other things. Comics are not the only thing that I want to do. So I'm looking forward to seeing what next year brings.
Hey, look, we're manifesting.
Yes. Oh, yes. Like Charles looking for a new mutant.
Be like,
That's me looking for my new project. So that's what it is.
well, everyone, go do the thing. Go check out Street Sharks. You will have a jawsome time, I promise
Mhm.
you. And we will see y'all again soon. We out of here.
Bye.
Peace out.